As I was sitting down to write this review, I had to put on the Fantastic Four score to get me in the right headspace. Now, before we get started, let's get some background information on myself. I grew up loving the Fantastic Four. I would read Fantastic Four comics in my youth. I'd watch the original 2005 and 7 movies all the time. I had massive nostalgia for these characters. There's no denying it. But I think that gives me a unique perspective, because I felt the same way about Superman, and I absolutely dog-walked that movie in my previous review. So if I was to feel the same way about Fantastic Four, I'd do the same thing. But I'm happy to announce, I love this movie. Fantastic Four First Steps is a movie about family above all else. The dynamics between each character is incredible, and every character has a moment where they stand out. One of my favourite parts of this film, compared to previous versions of the Fantastic Four, is the relationship between Ben and Johnny. In previous films, their relationship is often Johnny bullying Ben for his looks.
How about two guys, a girl, and the thing that nobody wanted?
But in this iteration, there is such brotherly love between the two. And rather than Johnny putting Ben down all the time, he's rather building him up. And I just absolutely adored that dynamic. I think one of the relationships that I would have liked to see developed a little bit more is that between Ben and Reed. What we have is great, but I would have loved to see it develop just a little bit more. Sue is a very strong character, and her relationship with Reed is perfect. There's a scene between the two, I won't get into spoilers, but it really shows how strong Vanessa and Pedro are as actors, and why they're both perfectly cast for their roles. Now, moving past the main 4 characters, I'm going to get into the tone and the visual strengths of the film. Tonally, the film feels very distinct from pretty much every other MCU film, and I think taking place on its own Earth really helped with that. See, I'm going to do what everyone else does, and if I had to compare it to other films, I'd say it's part Interstellar, part Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, and part Captain America the First Avenger. Take that as you will, but those are the tonal similarities I felt when watching it. Now let's just get out of the way and say the visuals are breathtaking, a lot of the time. But there are a few of those uncanny CGI moments, but I'm willing to look past a lot of those just because I know how hard it is to make some of these things look realistic when everything else looks so freaking perfect. I'm willing to look past some of these small things. Villain-wise, Galactus is excellent. I wish we got a little bit more from him, but his motivations and goals are clear. We know exactly what he's doing and why he's doing it. Silver Surfer's also great. And in my opinion, her and Johnny share the absolute best scene of the movie together. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. My negatives actually aren't too much, to be honest. As I said earlier, the CGI is a little uncanny in parts, but that's nothing that can't really be looked past, because when everything else is so breathtaking, especially the outer space moments, I was like, holy shit. I'm willing to look past those few iffy things. Other than that, I feel like the end of the first act dragged a little bit. Coming into the second act, there was like a few minutes you could probably shave off, but other than that, I adore this movie. I know this is kind of just a quick review because it's kind of hard to give all my thoughts without spoilers, but I'm just going to provide for you my top 5 MCU film ranking updated. And you're probably thinking to yourself, oh, that's hinting that Fantastic Four is going to be somewhere in that ranking. So at number 5, I got Avengers Infinity War, 9 out of 10. At number 4, I got Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, controversial, 9 out of 10. Number 3, I have Captain America the First Avenger, 10 out of 10. Number 2, I have Loki, Season 1 and 2, 10 out of 10. At number 1, I have
Fantastic Four,
10 out of 10, my new favorite MCU film. At least on my first watch, it's my favorite film. I'll be heading back to the cinemas to watch it again this weekend, and I can't wait. But maybe my opinion on it will change on a second watch. Maybe I'll be less hyped on it. Maybe I will like it even more somehow. Quick post-credit scene thoughts. It was pretty cool. I wish we got a little bit more, but I enjoyed it for what it was, and I'm very excited for the MCU going forward, especially with how great Fantastic Four was and how great the Thunderbolts were. It's so damn good. It's the best time to be an MCU fan again. I look forward to all of you seeing the film this weekend. I hope you all enjoyed as much as I did, and have an absolute blast.